I could keep bouncing back and forth and interview myself. I'll ask all the hard-hitting questions. Mm-hmm.
Answer the question and we'll just splice it together.
I just had to be talking to myself the whole time. That'd be awesome.
Just whatever you do, don't reach out or touch yourself. It's
I'll go through the new dimension and everyone will be all freaked out. I'll just disappear. And then I had a lot of guitars that were too small for me for my hands at my age. So they became broken in the backyard.
Broken in
on the patio. Just get the rock star mentality early. I was breaking drum sets and smashing guitars. I should have thrown my TV out the window. Really get that rock star life going. Yeah. Yeah.
Chavo, I don't know about this guy.
Seems like a loose cannon.
Good-looking guy who breaks instruments over people or on things like that. That seems a little too close to. Well, seems a little too close to what I do.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
That's how I got my job here. Actually, is
breaking stuff.
No, well, I actually did a music video here, and I hit Rick over the head with one of the electric violins over there. I'm dead ass. There's a video. I'll show you it after.
Wow, you have to. There's no way you can just talk about that.
But that's why I'm here. Is it's so Rick doesn't sue me.
Oh, because you owe him.
Yeah. Well, he
That
wanted
makes
me.
sense.
I was in my groove, and he was like, "Hey, you gotta pay for that." You gotta pay.
You can't just break stuff on me.
Yeah. Well, when you're a superstar, you do what you want.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's a good thing I've got a hard head.
Yeah, it is a good thing you have a hard head.
It was a full circle
Chavo, are we going or are what? Oh, we have been going. We'll do an intro at some point.
Some point here and there.
No, we'll do the intro right now. Welcome back, Systemaniacs. It's your boy, the System, Drew Cipolla, the Prince of Prince Music Company, here with my guest, Mr. Wylde. That's
Hello.
W-Y-L-D-E.
W-Y-L-D-E.
And your relation to Jimmy Wylde?
Oh, me and Jimmy go way back.
That's
well,
right.
before, I mean, we were there for Prohibition. We were there for the
Jimmy
the
Wylde,
marches.
the System's tag team partner at MAW.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, what is it, a second cousin?
Third
cousin?
Yeah. A little bit more distant, but
The
yeah, we go way back.
System, Drew Cipolla here with Dylan Wylde. Dylan, let's get straight to it with the hard questions.
Oh, jeez.
How long have you wanted to be Justin Bieber?
Oh, honestly, probably since 2008, I would say.
2008?
Yeah, right around there. Ever
That's a shoot.
since Baby came out and you got to sing with Ludacris, I thought to myself, how do you get to this point and be able to sing with Ludacris?
In the most serious tone, are you dead ass with that
No.
statement?
No, I think, yeah, I mean, for an actual answer, probably after I saw his roast, after his Comedy Central
That was a
roasts,
great roast,
That's when I was
honestly.
like, okay, maybe this dude's got something going on that he's cooler than we all think. He
No,
handled
that's-
it really well, and, you know, they talked all about his life. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, man, I would like to be the Biebs for a day.
I love that roast.
They shut down- they
if
shut
you can
down,
take it, and then, you know, the roast he gave back at the end, like, I
was
still watch
good.
that sometimes.
Yeah, and he got to shut down a highway with his dad in Los Angeles and go race Lambos. I mean, I can't even fathom getting to, hey, man, hey, Dad, what are you doing today? You want to go? We'll go shut down a street in LA. Let's go race some Lambos and just going off.
Is that goals
It's crazy.
for you?
That's goals.
Is it?
100% goals. I've always wanted to find a way, some street to race my old man. He's quite the driver. So any way or shape or form I can do that, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. But is that goals, though, to, monetize your music career like that and, be a superstar that can just buy whatever they want, whenever they want?
The buying whatever you want aspect, I think it would maybe be fun for about a day or two. And then I think you realize after that you can only buy so much stuff and you don't really feel that much better. It would be cool to be able to reach the masses and to help people and to have that outlet that you can affect so many different people and your songs, your music, whatever it may be, can help people, or you can use that money towards helping people and good causes and stuff like that and not just kind of being an ass. So that is goals right there. That's goals.
That's a humble answer. It's a humble answer from Dylan Wylde. Dylan, when I came in and I heard you singing, the first thing that came to my head was like, this is a voice that belongs on The Voice. That makes it. I immediately like kicked Rick out of his chair here just so that like I could mimic being the person just like turning around and like listening for a minute and turning back around and being like, oh my God, he's beautiful. Oh, he's beautiful.
That's weird that you say that because the people on The Voice, actually, I went and tried out, and the people on The Voice thought opposite, that I didn't have a voice to be on The Voice. They thought the exact opposite of you.
Gosh, what do they know, man? Well, you know, that when I say The Voice, you know, there's like 50 different, like, I guess, network television shows.
I gotta go to the UK. I'll go to the UK and do it. Maybe that's where I'm missing out. I'm doing it here. I got to go somewhere else and try.
Well, I mean, if you're being dead ass about this as well, how's that process going? Just so you like, have you tried out to a lot of these places or like?
Not really. Just The Voice. When did I go? I think I was 20, and a buddy of mine and my parents had been telling me, because I mean, my mom loves The Voice. There's not a time that she's not watching.
You mean your manager?
The Voice. My manager. And she loved The Voice, and she told me I should go out for it. So we ended up finding a date, and I did this fast, like, beat the line thing, and I put in a video submission beforehand, and I was hanging out with my buddy.
Is that all like an online process?
Yeah, that is. You like record yourself just singing like on your phone, and then you send it into them and have like your account that you make. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this, actually. It's like a thing I can't talk about, the way they do stuff, but I'd gotten a call, and I was sitting at my buddy's house, and it was just me and two of my friends, and I got a call, and at this time I loved any random number. I'd call it and put on speaker instantly, and oh, hello, and mess with them. So I answer it, and I'm like trying to be funny in front of him, thinking it's just going to be some random number. And I was like, yeah, how can I help you? Like, all rude. And she was like, hi, this is blah, blah, blah from The Voice. And we saw your video, and we're just going to let you know that we've selected you, and you can pick your own time and this and that. And it was for Utah. And so a buddy and me drove all the way out to Utah, and I was like, you're messing with me. This isn't real. Like, who are you? And she's like, this is from The Voice. And we're trying. I'm like, no, it's not. Don't mess with me. You're messing with me. She's like, I'll send you an email after we have the phone to let you know.
Like that's got to be a situation they run into a lot, where it's just like,
yeah, people mess with them. They're like, get out of here.
Like, so, they got to have something.
Send me an email and everything when she got off. I was like, I'll make sure to send you something so you know this is real. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then got the email. I was like, dude, The Voice actually just called me. And then, yeah, went all the way out to Utah and did that and came home the next day.
Can't believe I just predicted that. So how worthless did they make you feel when you got there? Like, how tedious was that process?
Not too bad. There was a lot of people in there, and it was like in this church. And I mean, they were really nice when you walked right in. They kind of told you where to go. Here's your sheets. Fill this out. Do this and that. And then when I got into the room, and I'm one of those people that likes to kind of be social with everyone. As soon as I meet them, I'll go up and, hi, how you doing? And that kind of stuff. And did all that, said all my intros, and they're like, all right, stand here, you do this, you look here, and you sing.
Was it too much waiting in that process?
A little bit. It was like a 45-minute waiting, and people would go in, and then people come back out, and you're kind of like trying to look at their face and be like, did they make it?
Were you scouting the room at all?
A little bit. I was looking around, and you got those, it's kind of like high school. You got those people who are just sitting by themselves, and you can tell they're focused. You got people who got the jitters, and then you got that one girl's in the corner by herself doing the you're like, yeah, okay, I know you're going to.
Was this your first time through that process? I hear you've done it a couple times. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first one, and then I did last year's where it was all virtual, and it was all like you do your audition online, and then they'll send you something back within like 24 hours.
Interesting.
That was like, you made it, you didn't make it, and that one I had a feeling I wasn't going to do too great on just because it's over a phone and recording with phone quality for a specific, like trying to do a song perfectly. It was weird. I like that I could be like by myself and I could be like in my bedroom and be comfortable, but it was just a weird process to do it all like that.
As someone who doesn't keep up with that kind of television, are they doing those kind of like audition shows virtual now, or is it still like, putting them on stage in front of a judge?
Yeah, I think this year they did the audition virtual again, right? And then they had people in person where it was just no crowd. It was just the 4 judges, and then they'd sing on stage. And if they did the battles, they split the stage this time, so now they have 2 different stages for like the battle round, so they weren't next to each other.
Okay.
So yeah, they looked like they were doing pretty well and staying on top of it, but
I mean, if you're gonna make the content on stage with judges, but making the auditions, virtual and things like that,
yeah,
it's just not preferred.
Yeah, no, it wasn't as fun. The trip going out to Utah was the best part, and it made it all, coming home and kind of stunk. But we spent like 3 days out there, and we slept up in the mountains. We hammocked. Nice. And then the last night before the audition, we went and got a hotel room just so I could like shower and stuff. Felt that might be helpful to show up and not smell like the woods.
Fun times.
Yeah.
So that's that first tryout was 2019, and you just had one in 2020 here, it sounds like?
Yeah, earlier in 2020. I think it was like January, February, maybe around there. So
you gonna stay persistent on that, or are you looking at other places, or what are you aiming at in terms of getting yourself famous?
Oh man, that's the big question. I think I'm just gonna
Maybe the wrong way to put that, but
as Nickelback said, I'm gonna cut my hair and change my name. No, I don't know. If it happens, it happens. I think when you go out and you really look for it, or if you're trying your hardest for that and you're just trying to get discovered, I think you're going to be let down a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, would I like to have something blow up or find some nice quick route to get there? Obviously, I think everybody would, but I think it's the more fun of playing around and getting to meet people and getting to meet connections and getting to kind of hear other people's stories and stuff like that, and do that process along the way and not just having it kind of right in front of you and, oh, you go out for this and then there you are. I think the fun of it would be all the people you meet along the way.
No doubt. So looking at your concert today, I saw you had a little diary, a little songbook.
Yeah,
something like that.
I usually have, I probably have 60 notebooks in my house, and then I have my black notebook that I put all my good ones in, the ones that I like. I make sure I transfer them over, and I've had like 8 books like that throughout the years. I'll fill one up, and then I'll go, I don't like this one anymore, and I'll rewrite all of the songs by hand, and then I'll get a new one. Oh, I don't like that one, so I switch out a lot, but that one I've had for about 2 years now.
So as you're rigorously putting the pen to the paper, take me through that process. So are you listening to, a music or a chord progression and it's like, oh, yeah, now it's coming out? Or is it like, I got these lyrics and then I'll figure that out later?
It depends on the day. Really, there are some where maybe I'll be sitting in my room and just messing around with guitar, and then something will pop in my head lyric-wise, and then I'll sit and kind of... I used to try and write at the same time as like going back and forth, but then I just found that putting my phone on, putting on the camera and recording, and then just doing whatever comes to my mind. If I'm playing and I come up with the most random words, or I'm trying to be funny and then I kind of like how it sounded, so I'm like, okay, we'll change these words. And instead of trying to write something and remember how I wrote it and then forgetting the next 3 lines that I was trying to think of, I can just keep going and keep going and keep going. And then my phone just is sitting there and I can play it all back and write down what I like. But yeah, sometimes it's just random lyrics will come to me, and I'll have my phone or I'll have a little notebook I carry around with me and write something down if it pops up in my head. Or sometimes it's just the guitar comes first, or as much as I don't ever want to be like, oh yeah, well I heard this song and I was like, oh, I could make a better song than that. There will be times where you're listening to a song and you're kind of like, I like that line and think of this line like this, and then you kind of get inspired by a line or a whole song or maybe a verse in a song, and that'll spark you writing your own little twist on it, if you will.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it all depends on the day. It's a whole process I've come to love of how it'll come to you, because you never know where it'll come from. Some songs will hit you and you'll finish it within 5 minutes, and some songs take you 2 months. You never finish them.
If you had to pick, would you consider yourself a songwriter first, or a guitarist, or a instrument player?
Songwriter. I would consider myself a songwriter more.
Did you do that first?
Yeah, I'd be in school, and before I ever really learned to play guitar, I'd be writing songs in my notebooks for school, and my teachers would walk over and, well, it doesn't look like schoolwork, and I'm like, it's not.
Were you a choir kid or a band kid?
Nope.
Nothing?
Nope. Never got into it. My senior year, I tried to do like a showcase thing we had at the school, and I just did not like it. I didn't like...
Like a talent show?
Kind of. It was like...
In front of like all your classmates?
Yeah. That part I didn't mind, but it was like where you have like 30 students and you're all singing songs together, and you have to be like in a certain range, and they were weird the way they did it, and I didn't like it. So yeah, never really got into that kind of stuff.
So would your performance experience that started after high school?
Probably right around senior year, I started going out and doing open mics and finding places like that, or I'd bring my guitar to my friends' houses and play for them, or kind of show them what I've been working on song-wise. But yeah, I'd say like really getting into performing was about junior year, maybe end of sophomore year, but right around there.
Was that something that was predetermined in your mind, or was there a process or a mental block you had to get over to like, get your ass up on the stage and start singing?
I've always been someone who's never really been super shy. I mean, it's the weird combo where I do have stage fright, because no one really likes being up there and everyone's looking at you and you feel weird. So I've never really liked that, but I do love performing, and I love sharing, what I made. And that's probably the most intimidating part is, it's something that came from you, from your heart, from your soul. And you have to go out in front of all these people and go, man, I really hope they like this. Like, I really hope that they don't come to me after and go, hey, did you write that? And you go, yeah. And they go, that sucked. And you're like, oh, thank you. That was mine. So that's always been tough, but
you made them feel something.
Made them feel something. Man, I don't ever want to hear you sing again. And you're like, thank you very much. Tell your friends. But yeah, it's weird. This little split of being half stage shy and then also just being such is it extrovert? that talks to people, being such an extrovert. And, you know, I love talking to people. I love meeting new people and hearing all about them and where they came from and what their favorite season is and why their favorite color is their favorite color. I love stuff like that. It interests me, like how the mind works for every individual. So that's always been this weird split, but I do like the performing aspect and being in front of people. For that other side of the coin, when they come up to you afterwards and, you know, maybe it's a middle tier song that, I mean, you're an entertainer in a form too, and you got these jokes, I guarantee it, and you always find out it's like your middle tier joke that some people are like, dude, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard. And you were like, that joke? And there's, you know, songs that I'll be in between about, and it's maybe the first time I'm playing it, and I'm like, I don't know if I like this song, or maybe it's in between, and someone will come up to you and go, hey, is that yours? And you go, yeah, I wrote that. That's amazing. Like, that's one of the best songs I've ever heard. And you're like, that song? I didn't even like that one that much. So it's always cool to hear that, and, you know, people who come up to you and this song made me relate to this, or this song made me think like this, or, you know, this song saved me. That's one thing that I've always wanted to strive for is, you know, I used to be that kid who was walking off the bus alone in the rain, headphones in, and I didn't want to talk to anybody sitting on the bus, or if you're having a bad day, and it was always music. And it always felt like, you know, if no one else around me gets me, music gets me. You know, John Mayer singing this song gets me. I always wanted to be that person for other people, and when people come up and say that kind of stuff and they make an effort to come find you and, hey man, I really like that song. The song made me think about, you know, me and my girlfriend broke up, let's say. Yeah. And that song, you know, made me think that I'm all right and that I'm not alone and that I'll get through it. And that stuff is, I don't really think you could ever put into words how that can make you feel.
I love that, dude. Because that is the bread and butter, what you're just speaking about, at least for me as well, because I totally feel that with an event. There's the performance aspect of it, but it's really like right after it, and then you're off the stage and you're talking to fans. That is the bread and butter I found, specifically in terms of finessing. Like, I'm trying to get like followers and things like that. Like, right, getting followers, talking to people after the shows, you know, having that connection. That's where someone's gonna be like, I like that guy. Like, he talked to me, and we benefit from it as well, because then they get their personal story out too, of, you know, like that self-aware comment you made that was, you know, really just you screwing up, and, you know, like, that made my night. And it's like,
exactly, that stuff is, you can't put it into words. It's the coolest thing when someone lets you know that what you're doing is meant something to them, or that it made them feel a certain way. There's nothing like it.
True that. So I was stalking your Instagram
oh geez,
about a half hour ago.
Sorry.
I see you're a Tom Brady fan.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Are you a Patriots fan?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady is.
So you root for individuals over teams?
Not usually. I mean, you know, you gotta love the Vikings. You gotta love the Twins. You gotta love the Wylde. But, you know, when you're growing up a Minnesota fan, and you guys will all relate, sometimes you just want to see someone win.
It's bare out here. That's true.
And so, you know, I used to be a big Yankees fan growing up. Love the Twins.
That's what soccer's
big
for,
Yankees.
bro.
I'm from Chicago, so I've been wanting to watch any team win for the last 15 years.
You got the Cubs. That must have felt like
you do have
Christmas morning.
North side, I'm south side.
Oh,
he's
the White Sox.
He's a Sox fan. You got Obama, bro. Doesn't that technically count?
That's a win.
Chalk it up to a win.
So Brady leaves the Patriots. You're now a Tampa Bay fan.
I am. There was
That's what soccer's for, bro. See, I'm a Chelsea fan. I'll watch Chelsea. They will buy anybody over there in London, and but I'll stick with all my hometown teams. You know,
I think that's one thing that was always really tough too growing up. When you tell people that, who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite quarterback? Oh, Tom Brady. Oh, you just like him because he's this. You just like him because they win. He's a cheater. But when I was really, really young, like one of the first books I ever remember reading, my brother had this split book with LaDainian Tomlinson and Tom Brady. And I must have read Tom Brady's part 8 times before I turned like 6 years old. So he was the first NFL player that I really ever fell in love with. And then, you know, you watch him win a Super Bowl, and then you watch him win another, and you just see him beat all these odds. This 6th-round pick comes out of nowhere. Yeah, I get that a lot. But
well,
I mean, I felt
you realize you're doing the exact same thing as like being a LeBron fan.
Ooh,
you know,
but that is one that I've always.
I'm just saying you got to be prepared for it. You know,
I've gotten a lot throughout the years, so I can take it. That's okay.
How much of it is the football playing skill? How much of it is the looks?
20% football, 80% looks.
Pride of efficiency, right there. The 80-20 rule.
Yep, 80-20.
That's what you learned here on the System podcast.
No, it's definitely 50-50.
50-50?
Yep. he's an amazing player, and you can't knock the looks. You can't just, you can't throw it out the window. It's there.
It has something to do with it. But you know what? Sitting here today, someone's going to the playoffs. Someone is not. Are the Patriots going to the playoffs?
They are not.
Look at my fake watch. I don't need a watch to know the Patriots aren't making the playoffs.
Is it just football or music?
You know what, Rick? This is.
Back to the music.
You know
Tom
what?
Brady sang on SNL.
Sunday. Doesn't mean we gotta talk about
You know what? We spent 15 minutes talking about how music connects us. Where after you play some music, you can learn about people. Rick.
Look,
See, this is. I changed my mind. We don't want to put a mic back there. If
Real
we do
fast,
put a
it's
mic back
done.
there, it's going to be
done.
strictly for you and Chavo. It's going to be strictly for you and Pika if she's here.
You can give him one. Just have like a mute button. Let him talk for a few. Just cut it off.
Ooh.
Just boom, done.
We'll give one for you, but we'll get it muted.
Or get one of those voice changer ones, but he can't hear it, so he won't know. Then when he plays back, it'll be like a really high pitched voice.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't have him come up and spit on the harmonica. That's starting to be Rick's new thing.
He did. Before we were.
Oh, really? Oh, I
was
missed
just messing
it.
around during the warm up, and all of a sudden he goes, "What key is that in?" I probably shouldn't say this on the mic because it makes me look like a big fat phony. But he goes, "What key are you in?" I go, "I couldn't tell you."
He's a phony.
He's a phony. But he pulls out one of the harmonicas and starts playing. He goes, "Oh, hold on." Pulls out another one, and I'm just sitting there, just looping through, and pulls it out, starts playing. It was beautiful.
Yep, that's Rick's good for that. I'll give him that. Not much else, but I'll give him that.
something's better than nothing.
That's true.
So Dylan, before we get chopped off, we gotta get some meat and bones of you here.
All right.
So
brace for it.
you're based in Burnsville, a burb somewhere
Yep,
around here.
in the Ville.
In
Yep.
the Ville. All right. So 2019, 2020. It sounds like you're hustling. Sounds like you're grinding. I got to shout him out because this probably wasn't while the camera was on, but he is on TikTok. Where can they find you on TikTok?
Just Dylan Wylde, DYLAN, capital D, Wylde, WYLDE.
Do you get a lot of confusion with the Dylans, like the DILLON
Yeah,
crowd?
I get that a lot. Especially, I was growing up and I played on a baseball team with 3 Dylans. So we were all spelled different. I was DYLAN, one was DYLLAN, and then one was
Did it just work out like that, or did someone like?
I think someone
have
had something to do with it. I think they were messing with us.
Well, was it like like a case of like it's like 3 DILLONs, but it's like, if you change it to DYLAN.
Yeah, they gave us. We actually all did have our names spelled the same way, and they came in and changed it for us, so there would be less confusion.
I've been there. I was initially an Andrew. I cut that part. I don't want no one knowing my government name. But I had like 4 Andrews in my grade, and then the year I changed to Drew, another Drew came in from somewhere else, and it was just like you can't win. That's why I
They
go
did it
by
on
system
purpose.
now.
You can't get confused with that unless like System of a Down comes around.
That's right.
And
Hate
then
those
you gotta-
guys.
I hate when they come around.
Yep. Stupid. I'll just go by Mr. System. That's what all the new guests are
Mr.
gonna go
System.
on.
I like that.
It's a good interviewer name.
It is.
It's like Mr. Peanut Butter. So Dylan, what is your ideal 2021 looking like?
Peanut butter. That's it. Just a whole.
No,
No.
I regret this.
I think if I could make a picture perfect world for 2020 for me, it would just be playing as much as possible, writing as much as possible, meeting as many new people as possible, and learning about their story because it's so interesting to me because everyone comes from somewhere else, and the way that we view things is so different just from how much we went through and what we lived through when we were younger and what we saw. So to meet that amount of people and to hear a couple different stories and to kind of, they can always help you think differently. You can always, maybe you're looking at something and you think it's the right way and you don't know that it's, maybe it annoys some people or maybe it comes off bad, and then you can learn about someone else's experiences or where they come from and how they see things, and you can kind of always be improving yourself to be the best you can be. So 2021 would be just becoming the best version of myself as humanly possible. Making as many people laugh, as many people smile, and as many people dance as I can.
I love it. Maybe adding on to it, the purpose of this show is getting answers from a rising artist, to a rising artist, for rising artists.
Ooh.
So staying on that vibe, that wave, that high level, what advice would you give for someone at 0 in their music career trying to get to 0.1 and trying to do some of this?
To never give up, and if it's what you really want to do, to never give up. And a lot of people, it's with a lot of stuff. If you're at the gym or if you're trying to save up, I think a lot of people give up way too fast because they have these expectations of, where they want to be. And it's not saying to not set goals for yourself. Always set realistic goals and where you want to be, but don't give up. If you post a video and you're expecting 100,000 people to see it and 5,000 people to like it, you're probably going to get let down unless you get pretty lucky. But, if you post a video compared to nothing, if you write a song compared to nothing, and 3 people like that video or 100 people see that video, that's 100 more people that you just affected. That's 3 more people that you just made their day. And you always got to be searching for a way to impact as many people as possible and to reach as many people as possible. And just to never give up, to always believe in yourself, because that's what a lot of it comes down to. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect someone to believe in you,
Well, hey, I'm still going to double down on this. Has there been a time where, you've hit a writer's block or you've gone on a hiatus in music?
Yeah, even just, recently with the way 2020 has been, it's been, rough when stuff closes down and you can't go out as much and you can't perform and you're pretty much just stuck behind your screen trying to interact with people and reach out to new people. So that's been tough. This year has definitely been a rough one with that. And there's times every now and then where, obviously you think, oh, am I even going to make it, or is this even worth it? Am I just setting myself up to fail? But it's all voices in your head are going to mess with you. And the littlest voices can really screw with you sometimes. And it's all about, like I said, I'm going to double down on mine. It's just about staying persistent and having the faith and believing and having fun with it. That's the biggest part. If you're not doing it for fun, then I don't know why you're doing it.
So take me to your to the first song you made after a hiatus. Was there a specific moment or something that happened to you that you made you break it back out? Or is there anything that you just specifically remember about that situation?
Yeah, there was one time, I couldn't tell you the exact song it was, but before that I was writing, because I felt like I had to. I wasn't really writing because I needed to, because I needed to get something out of me that was either trapped inside or hidden behind different walls, and it just needed to come out. I was writing because I felt like that's what I needed to do. And so I took a break, and I had won the wand. I always give myself this rule: if I am feeling down about music, or if I'm thinking about giving up, I give myself this rule where I'll put my guitar away, put it in my case, and I'll put it somewhere I can't see it. And for 2 weeks, if you really want to give up, don't touch that guitar. For 2 weeks straight, don't look at it, don't touch it. If you think about playing it, doesn't matter how bad you want to go pick it up, leave it. And then when that 2 weeks is over, you will come back and you'll realize how much you wanted to play the whole time, how much you wanted to get something out of you, even if it's, singing a cover, if you're singing some Adele, something that, you want to get out of you, have some fun with. And I remember finally feeling like I didn't want to write a song. I needed to write a song, that I had all these emotions that were going on. I'd just gotten out of a breakup. And the first thing, because you could talk to people about it, you could talk to your friends, you could talk to your family, but I feel like no one is really completely, truly honest when they talk about stuff like that or how they're feeling. Everyone will tell you some stuff, but no one's going to really tell you everything. And when you write music, you can be 100% honest, because that page that you're writing on isn't going to judge you. It's not going to look at you funny. So I remember feeling like, man, I have to write this. I have to get this out of me. And it ended up being one of my favorite songs I've ever written.
I agree. Was that a song where you didn't get your tea? Or
the tea song? No, it was, I believe it's The Love I Love the Most.
Okay.
I don't know if you were in here for that one, but that's it is one of my more honest songs. And that's something that you won't say to someone if, they ask you, how you feeling, man? How's the breakup? Oh, I'm fine. I'm cool. Because a lot of the time you feel like people don't really want to help you. They want to help themselves, and they want to, see you smile and go, no, I'm good. Thank you for helping. And they'll go, oh, sweet, I helped. And they'll turn their back and walk away, because they just want to feel good because they helped you. And it's hard to talk to someone about, this was the person that I loved the most. This was it. And I don't have it anymore, and I don't have that person. I don't have that feeling. I don't have that comfort. And to look at someone and be that vulnerable and tell them that when it's still pretty fresh, it's tough. So to be able to write it down and to be, completely by myself and to be able to let it pour out, almost like a letter I would have written to the person, and to be able to have that come out, finally be written down, and then come into a form of a song was incredible.
Awesome. Before Chavo kicks us out, I got a 2-part question for you.
All right.
So number 1, I can hear it in your music. Do you take kindly to being categorized as sort of a sad boy niche, or do you like to spit and do other things? And I'll hit you with the second one as well. Once you have your niche in place or what you view yourself as trying to do, what's your prime time collab? You can be as pragmatic with that answer as you want.
Like a
Let's say
dream-
going
like
into
a dream
2021.
collab?
Going into 2021, what would be your dream collab if you were to make it for your next song in 2021?
I think it's good. I think they're gonna roll into each other really well. I don't mind being, put as a sadder person with my music. I had one person tell me just recently that because I had taken that break and hadn't written music, and they were like, "Well, why aren't you writing music?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm focusing on other stuff right now." And they're like, "I think that you always have to be sad. It seems like you always have to be sad, and that's where you like to be. So then you can write music and you can do this, and you have to feel bad." And I was like, "I don't know, not necessarily, but everyone does get sad. Everybody gets sad, and everybody loses something."
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, to feel like you can help them not feel so alone. Like, hey, I lost this. I'm still standing. I'm still here. You'll be okay. To be that person and to be that helping hand, that kind of pat in the back, like, hey, just get up. You're all right. It's all right. I do like that. And I do like sad music. I mean, I love Adele. I love Louis Capaldi. So, I mean, those are probably, if I had to pick like a dream 2021 collab, it'd probably be those two. Adele. I mean, who doesn't like Adele? That's
true.
It's one of the most amazing voices that will
She
ever
got the
grace this
pipes.
planet. She is amazing. And Louis Capaldi, they both kind of make that same style of music. I like to play, I like to write. So that would be cool to do something with one of those two. Or both. Maybe we'll be a trio and we'll go travel the world.
Well, Dylan, your songs make me want to call my ex. But not today.
Not today.
But again, Dylan, I appreciate you coming on the show, sir.
Thanks for having me. My hands are probably a little sweaty.
Oh, it's all good, man. We got hand sanitizer back there.
Perfect.
Keeping it COVID-free back here. COVID-free with the system. And Dylan Wylde, Jimmy Wylde's third cousin.
Third cousin.
I'll tell him you
Yep.
said hi.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I haven't heard from him in so long.
Thank you, Systemaniacs. Until next time.